This is my barn-found Alfa Romeo 1750 GTV, and it hasn't moved in 40 years. It's sat here covered in dust and the silence of the barn, but I've decided to try and save it and give it a second chance of life. Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of RC Classic Garage, where today we're back on the barn-found Alfa Romeo 1750. Now in the last few episodes, we pulled this car out of a barn. We gave it a really good cleanup, including dry ice blasting. And in the last episode, we started to strip the car down, finding out that the engine has been seized after standing for so long. Now in today's episode, we'll continue with the strip down, removing all of the glass and getting it ready for bodywork. We'll remove the engine and gearbox. We'll also discuss the plan for restoration and what I think the budget is going to be. And then at the end of the video, I've got something really special that should give us a lot of inspiration to carry on with this build. So grab yourself a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, sit down, enjoy the episode. Let's get on with it. Now the glass is surprisingly good. There's no cracks, no chips, and that's a big win early in this strip down. The rubbers are original and they're still soft. They're really good. The lack of sun in the barn has protected and preserved them really well. Next, the fuel tank, absolutely full of varnish-smelling old fuel. The smell of 40-year-old petrol is unforgettable, and not in a good way. But this tank will be replaced with a new one. We carefully removed all the ancillaries around the engine. It's always a tight space, and everything was crusty, stuck, and there were plenty of rusted bolts. But eventually we got it ready to start removing the engine. Now the engine and gearbox get removed as one piece in an Alfa. So first you have to remove the gear lever and then disconnect the donut from the drive shaft. You then have to drop the steering arm by disconnecting the tie rod end, and that put up a good fight before freeing itself, a lot like everything else on the car. And now for the big moment. It's time to pull the heart of this Alfa. We slowly lift the engine and gearbox out as one solid, seized unit. It's heavy, it's awkward and stubborn, but finally it's free. This is a major milestone for this rescue, and one big step closer to bringing this beauty back to life. And then splitting the engine and gearbox, again, not without a fight. The starter motor bolts were rusted fast. But anyway, eventually we got it free. This engine is going to need a complete rebuild. And of course, the old crusty exhaust removed. So then side glass out and final bits of trim off. This trim is all held on with pop rivets, so it needs to be drilled out. Now, with the car stripped, it was time to get serious about the bodywork. I started with a thorough assessment, sanding back all the crusty rust, checking for any hidden nasties underneath. This stage is so important. You never really know what's lurking underneath until you strip away years of old paint, and occasionally layers of filler. Speaking of filler, I found plenty of it in spots. And surprisingly, once it was removed, there was solid metal underneath. No nasties, no massive holes. This was a huge relief, because I now know exactly what I'm working with. Okay, so here's the shell after the strip down. Let's show the good, the bad, and then we'll go through the plan and the budget of what I think it's going to cost to bring this back to life. Now for the good. The top of this car is really solid. Lips around the window and around the trunk are really in excellent condition. Even the roof dent popped out really easily. Just had one bang from the inside. This is all surface rust and it sands off back to the metal really easily. And then the bad, well, it's the rust. And right down there you can see the radiator mount needs replacing. We also have some rust in the lower part of the front valance, which we will replace. Then the right sill has some rust down at the bottom and at the back of the wheel. And of course, the wheel well has some rust. But as you can see, replacement parts are readily available. And this is really good news, as it's just cut, weld and shape. Structurally, the car is remarkably sound. The underseal and this internal paint really actually saved it from the worst rot. So the shell, I would say, is better than what I expected. So what's the plan from here? Well, we'll do a smart restoration, like I did on my Alfa Romeo 1750 GTV Mark I and my E-Type Jaguar. And that's we'll keep the car rolling, we'll keep in the suspension, but we will rebuild everything on the suspension. New shocks, new brakes, new bushes, new rubbers, everything will be replaced. So next step, we'll have some professional welding and professional bodywork, followed by a total respray in a spray booth. And yes, we are going back to the original yellow. I know there's been so many comments and support to go back to its original color. And actually that yellow was popping out all over the car. It's almost as if it was asking to go back to factory spec. At the same time, we're going to be sending the seized engine and the gearbox in for a complete rebuild. And then the car will be reassembled with new parts. So let's talk budget. Well, replacement panels for all of the bodywork, about £1,400. The fuel system rebuild, about £1,500, and that includes new carburetors and a new tank. The suspension refresh, which would include new shocks, bushes, tie rod ends, track rod ends, about £1,000. The brake system rebuild, £1,600. That includes new calipers, new master cylinders, and basically complete braking system. A clutch, £400 for the clutch and the master and slave cylinders. Electrical repairs and upgrades, at least £1,000, including 123 electronic ignition and a high torque starter. And the cooling system overall, £400. That'll include a new radiator and new hoses. An exhaust, £270. Tyres and hubcaps, at least £700. And then the interior, seat coverings, carpets, door panels, at least £2,400. Now we're talking over £13,000, and that's just in parts alone. That does not include rubbers, chrome work, lights. So you can see there's a lot still to do. We haven't even taken into account any of the labor to do the welding, the labor to do the painting, or the paint. No machining, transporting, and of course any surprises that come up along the way. Now there have been a few comments that this is going to be a £30,000 rebuild. I don't think it's going to be quite that high, and I think I should be budgeting around about £25,000. But let me know in the comments below, what do you think this rebuild's going to cost? And I will be fully transparent through the rebuild process to let you know exactly where it comes out. Now, as much as I want to get into cutting, welding and rebuilding, sometimes we just need to take a step back. Get a bit of inspiration. Remind ourselves why we love these cars in the first place. And there's no better way to do that than to head off to one of the biggest Italian car events of the year. So we're taking a break from the tools, jumping into my fully restored 1969 1750 Mark I and heading down to Brooklyn's Italian Car Day. We're going to spot some beautiful Italian cars, get some fresh ideas, and maybe even see a car or two that's going to inspire what that barn find is going to become. For me, Italian cars are more than just machines. They're passion, they're design, they're character. I mean, I own 5 Alfa Romeos, a Fiat 500, and a Ferrari, so it's safe to say I am a little bit addicted. But events like this are just pure fuel for the soul. Seeing these cars alive, loved, driven, it's exactly the motivation you need when you're knee-deep in sanding dust and seize bolts back in the workshop. And I must admit, I got really excited when I saw this GTV arriving. This has to be my favorite car of the day. Guys, and this is it, and this is exactly what we're aiming for with the 1750 barn find. An original ochre yellow car. It's the only one at the event, which just shows how rare and how beautiful this color is. So this is what we're aiming for, and looking at it, it's all going to be worth it. Days like today remind you, these cars are more than just projects. They're living pieces of history. They're meant to be saved, restored, driven. And I can't wait to get our barn find back on the road where it belongs. But for now, let's head back to the garage because there's a lot of work waiting for us. So guys, please join me in the next episode where the real work begins. The body heads off for welding and preparation for returning to its original ochre yellow. The engine is heading off for a full rebuild. So let's see if that C's engine is salvageable or if it's just scrap metal. Trust me, you don't want to miss it because I'm going to take you every step of the way. So if you enjoyed the episode, please hit the like button. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel and see you all next time. Ciao.